The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel.
Oh
He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
Doch schon. Ihre Liebe wurde nicht erwidert.
You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
Glaubt ihr nicht? Ihre Fingernägel.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned.
Wir haben das Ritual inszeniert.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts the cream of Cordona society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
Jetzt bin ich wieder unsicher. Gehen wir doch auf den Leidenschaftsmord. So wie Sherlock es gerade ausgeführt hat, passt das mehr zu dem Leidenschaftsmord. Und sonst hätte er sich ja die Seife auch noch entfernt. Wenn er so genau gewesen wäre. Aber er war nicht genau genug. Ich glaube, ich entscheide mich tatsächlich nochmal um. Mord aus Leidenschaft.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You were passionate, and so you struck him. Once you understood your mistake, it was too late. You were afraid, so you staged the ritual. With such a story, you might be sentenced to a few years. It might clean your conscience, and soon the case will be forgotten.
No. No.
This is my decision. I'll talk to Constable Oswald to see what I can do.
Ach, nicht mal aggressiv, dass die Leute das dann nicht zugeben. Dahinter frage ich immer alle meine Entscheidungen, aber es macht doch am meisten Sinn, richtig? Es macht am meisten Sinn, glaube ich. Constable. Ach so, natürlich. Jetzt werden wir noch was zu unserer Mutter erfahren.
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Freund? Ich denke ja nicht. Okay. Wir haben den Fall abgeschlossen. Schön. War sehr interessant. Ein bisschen verzwickt, definitiv. So, Polizeibericht Nummer 0743. Als die Beamten eintrafen, fanden sie die Verstorbene, die als Mrs. Violet Holmes identifiziert wurde, tot im Garten des Anwesens Stormwood Manor vor. Eine erste Untersuchung der Leiche ergab, dass sie völlig durchnässt war und einen tiefen vertikalen Einschnitt im Halsbereich von 2 Zoll Länge aufwies. Ihr Gesicht war aufgedunsen und mit roten Flecken übersät. Vermutete Todesursache Sauerstoffunterversorgung. Eine Bestätigung durch den Gerichtsmediziner steht allerdings noch aus. Der Hauptverdächtige Dr. Otto Richter wurde am Tatort festgenommen. Die Leiche wurde für eine Autopsie abtransportiert. Aber wir haben keinen Autopsiebericht. Okay. Völlig durchnässt, einen tiefen vertikalen Einschnitt im Halsbereich. Also erwürgen oder wie? Erinnerung?
The garden.
Der Garten, ja.
There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Richtig. Und deshalb werden wir erstmal Abstand davon nehmen, in den Garten zu gehen. Denn das könnte schon fast das Ende dann der Hauptstory sein. Wir kümmern uns jetzt erstmal um die Reihe an anderen Fällen, die wir noch haben. Ja. Ich wollte eigentlich zur Garderobe. Verkleiden wir uns als Polizist einmal. So. Polizeihut. Nur in der Theorie respekteinflößend. So. Dann machen wir jetzt einmal der eiserne Sarg. Könnte gut sein, dass es hier ist, wo wir eben nicht rein durften.
What a long day.
Ja. Wo ist er denn? Gut, hier offenbar nicht. Das sieht aus wie Mr. Copello.
Excuse me, but are you Mr. Copello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
Okay. John will, dass wir so tun, als wären wir Polizist, dann machen wir das. Ich bin ein guter Polizist.
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
Beobachten. Wir haben heute sehr viel schon beobachtet. Augen, ein fokussierter Blick. Eine Krawatte. Elegante neue Kleidung, modern und modisch. Ja, okay. Na nü. Blutergüsse an der Hand, frische Verletzungen. Was hast du denn da geschlagen? Oder wen? Und der Ehering. Fest am Finger. So, Basilio Copello ist der Inhaber der renommierten Firma Amor Copello, die auf Cordona Tresore und andere Sicherheitsvorrichtungen verkauft. Derzeit sitzt er als Hauptverdächtiger im Mordfall Niccolo Detti im Gefängnis der Polizeiwache. Basilio Copello ist Anfang 40. Er legt großen Wert darauf, modern und modisch gekleidet zu sein. Augenscheinlich will er nicht seinen Frust über seinen Gefängnisaufenthalt zeigen, könnte aber durchaus zu Gewaltausbrüchen neigen. Er hat Blutergüsse an der Hand, womöglich die Folge eines Kampfes. Die Familie ist ihm sehr wichtig. Impulsiv. Oder pragmatisch. Er ist ein pragmatischer Mensch, bei dem die Arbeit und Prinzipien treu an erster Stelle stehen. Obwohl er als Mordverdächtiger im Gefängnis sitzt, wirkt er ruhig und fokussiert. Er hat Blutergüsse an der Hand, womöglich musste er sich vor kurzem zur Wehr setzen. Die Familie bedeutet ihm so viel. Ja. Könnte wieder beides sein. Ja, vielleicht musste er sich wehren. Das kann gut sein.
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
No, a minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Okay. Erzählen Sie von Anfang an.
Please, tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Copello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal.
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
Wer waren diese Kunden?
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Copello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed.
Okay. Wann trafen die Kunden gestern ein?
Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes 12 times a day for 12 years. I do not recall.
Kannten Sie das Opfer?
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Cordona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the deities tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Copellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
Beschreiben Sie den Einbruch.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection, but if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
Ich habe genügend Informationen. Dankeschön.
Well, Mr. Copello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavour to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, little else I can do.
Oh Gott. So, für den Fall relevante Personen. Nachtwächter Billy Lloyd, Firmengebäude. Und die Gattin, die sich derzeit auf der Polizeiwache befindet. Gut. Wo ist die Dame? Ist eigentlich jetzt okay.
Mrs. Copello, please wait in the office. The inspector will be here soon.
Hä? Von wo kam das denn jetzt? Aber hier sind alle weg. Also Werner ist auch raus. Wieso ist sie denn noch da?
I'd weep if I had any tears left at all.
Wo ist Miss Copello? Im Büro. Oder welches Büro? Ist das Mrs. Copello?
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Copello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Ich bin nicht der Inspektor.
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Gläserner Blick nahm vor kurzem Laudanum ein. Okay. Goldener Hafenanstecker. Abschiedsgeschenk 1875. Ringfinger. Spuren nervösen Herumspielens. Oh, das ging schnell. Steht unter Schock. Augusta Copello ist die Gattin des Tatverdächtigen Basilio Copello. Sie ist Ende 20, war früher Musikerin und arbeitet jetzt in der Firma ihres Gatten. Sie spielt aufgrund der Stresssituation nervös an ihrem Ehering herum. Sie nahm vor kurzem Laudanum ein, scheint an dieses Beruhigungsmittel jedoch nicht gewöhnt zu sein. Oder emotionaler Mensch. Sie spielt aufgrund ihres rastlosen Charakters nervös an ihrem Ehering herum. Sie nahm vor kurzem Laudanum ein und greift möglicherweise regelmäßig zu diesem Beruhigungsmittel. Ja, ich würde sagen, sie ist ein emotionaler Mensch.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Copello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Erzählen Sie mir von dem Einbruch, bitte.
Basilio tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Sie will sich ausruhen. Kannten Sie das Opfer?
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No, I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
Ich komme später wieder.
You've had quite the day, Mrs. Copello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.